Well, hello there. I'm sitting in my kitchen slash living room with this big Rivendell Shavat. If you guys are following my Instagram, which you should, I post cool stuff there, you already know a little bit about it. I posted a different one that was on Craigslist for too cheap, like $1,600, all built in nice dynamo hubs, the whole racks, the whole thing. And one of the kids from Bike Farm was like, hey, another one of those just got posted on Facebook Marketplace. So I went and checked it out. He thought it was sketchy. I thought it was sketchy. A couple of real bad photos from someone who doesn't know how to take pictures of bikes. You know, saying $1, make an offer. I offered him $200. Probably should offer him $100. Offered him $200. And the other kid from Bike Farm, he messaged him as well. And he was trying to sell it to him for $200. Like, oh, somebody else. You know, I've seen these sell for $200, but I think he just saw my offer. And then he got back to me with $250 if I came and picked it up right now. So I did. I drove right down there. His Facebook only had 2 friends. It said he was in Gresham. He was actually here, like close in town. So it's all a little sketch. Went down there, picked it up. $250 cash, which I was planning on using to buy my wheels from Stoic Wheels today. So I have to put that off for a few days. I recognized the back fender install. My partner Mark installed these fenders back when I owned Northern Cycles. And the wheels I recognized too. Brian from Stoic Wheels, our wheel builder, built these wheels. I remember I had that hub. I bought it off eBay for kind of cheap. So it's a Shimano Nexus Dynamo hub. I got a few of those. And I got these scratch and blem rims from that rim company that makes rims, Velocity. Yeah. From Velocity, they're like the Atlas, which is my favorite rim, and some of them had a few like weird spots in the ano or a tiny scratch or the stickers kind of peeled, like whatever. And I bought a bunch of these back in the day. We used them on a lot of stuff. I recognize the back hub. It's a used back hub that Brian just had sitting around, and he chipped in real cheap on the bill so we get this bike going. And had a real distinctive sticker on the back fender. So I put some pictures on Instagram of that sticker and the snack hole and, you know, just some other shots trying to add anything unique to this bike. And it got recognized by one of his friends who tagged him in it, and it got recognized by one of my friends who done work on it after I closed the shop, and I got recognized by the shop that he works at, which is Golden Pliers, which is a great shop in Portland. Come to Portland, you gotta visit Golden Pliers. They are cool. And they do all the Rivendell stuff, they do all the gravel bike and the crust stuff. If you're into that modern, neo-retro-y, gravel-y thing, that's the shop. So they all recognized it and got us in touch. And I talked to him this morning. He was on his way to work. So after work, he said he'd come pick it up. He told me like 5:30, anytime after. He asked if I had spent any money retrieving it. I said yes, $250, and he offered to pay it back. So that's great, because it doesn't always happen. The path to hell is paved with good intentions, as they say. Even one guy commented on my Instagram that he bought a bike that he knew was hot and tracked down the owner, and the owner just called the cops on him instead of paying him $100 that he spent to get it back. So that's rough. You know, if a tweaker steals your bike and tries to sell it back to you, that's one thing. If a good bike person tries to get your bike back to you, they're going out of their way. I mean, I paid $250 for this bike. I could sell it for $15 or $16 after a tune-up. So I would have made a lot more money with a lot less trouble not trying to track down the owner. But that's not the way I roll. I hate stolen bikes. I've had bikes stolen. It's broken my heart. Never gotten over it. Fucking sucks. So I'm glad I tracked him down. Hopefully he's cool. Hopefully he'll let me get a picture of him with the bike to finish this video off with. Maybe. I know it's my size too, but I don't like Rivendells. I know that's sacrilege. People love these god-awful heavy tanks. Weird design elements that don't function well, but that's just my opinion, man. You know, it's got a nice Brooks with the cool copper rivets and a little Springer. It's got the Nitto lugged seat post and a nice Nitto deluxe stem. And it's really cool Nitto bar. I'm jealous of this bar. I didn't know what bar it is. I'd rock this bar. I really would put it on my rando bike. I'd be very happy. The front brake was just dangling, so I put a nut on it for him. I told him I'd pump the tires up, which I need to. It's got the wrong quick release in the front. It's missing the springs. If I was a good person, which I might be, I might go down and dig through and find a better quick release and springs for him. At least make this thing safe to ride. I'm sure we'll take it right to the shop and get a tune-up and hopefully get it's got the Vel Orange fender on the back. So the front was missing the front rack. The brake was just dangling. The brake nut was lost. The front fender was taken off and the dynamo light was gone. So whoever tweaker stole it at that. And it's also definitely got some fresh crash marks on it. So they might have crashed it and put it in a storage unit and abandoned it. Or maybe this guy stole it and storage unit recovery is just his cover. You never know. I bought stuff from people who only do storage units for a living. I've gone down to their house and, you know, their property, they seem very legit. They showed me their trailer, they showed me their, you know, big giant containers full of all the stuff they load their storage units into as they slowly sell stuff off. I bought a storage unit once back in the 90s with a buddy. Had a bunch of car stuff in it. We thought we were hot rodders back then and bought it. And I think we paid $400 or $500 for it and barely made our money back selling stuff off, and then had to do like 10 dump runs for the rest of the stuff too. It was, you gotta know what you're doing. There's nothing actually good in that storage unit. It was just junk. No wonder why they didn't pay. But you know, tweakers are stealing stuff and just the stuff in storage units. It makes sense. They overdose or turn to tweakers or run away or move or go to jail and don't pay their bills, and storage units come up. But I want to thank my buddy Graham, liked the weight. He recognized it, gave the guy my phone number, and I want to thank Golden Pliers because they recognized it and Instagram messaged me. And one of his buddies did too, tagged him in it, and I went and took screenshots of all the conversations I had in the original Facebook post and the Facebook profile of the guy who sold it, and I sent these to this dude too in case he wants to pursue it, wants to bug that kid and see if he'll cooperate. Maybe he's the leader of a giant crime ring. Maybe he's just a kid who bought a storage unit trying to get rid of stuff and has no idea who the storage unit belonged to and can't point anyone in the right direction. So doesn't matter. But I did talk to this guy on the phone this morning, and he was super excited. He's been looking for this bike for 2 years. He said he still checks Craigslist and Instagram all the time, and Craigslist in Seattle. A lot of stolen bikes get shipped up to Seattle to be sold. He's been looking for it and looking for it. He said he's gone to, like, you know, it's Portland. We've got homeless encampments everywhere, and tweakers and fentanyl, and this town's a shit show. He said he went to a bunch of those camps and dug around the bushes, and he was peeking in underwear and under tarps, and he's been looking for it. He loves this bike. So hopefully he gets it back, and hopefully it's not wrecked for him. I had my favorite bike messenger bag stolen. My buddy Blackstar Dave does Blackstar bags. Did this custom one of a green frog on a lily pad. It was so gorgeous. I bought it from him, and some tweaker stole it from me at a bar and sold it to some low IQ lady who lived like a halfway house, and she walked right into that same bar with it, and she freaked out that I was like, hey, it's my stolen bag. She's like, no, like, it's a one-off custom bag, and the guy who made it's like right here. What are you talking about? Here's all the pictures on my website, my Instagram, and his website. And I got it back, and it wasn't the same. It broke my heart. But at least we found the guy. She called the guy who sold it to her and busted him. Maybe. I don't think they actually arrested him and real evidence, but they could at least use that to go to his halfway house to get him banned from his halfway house. They said he was going in there and preying on a lot of low IQ people living in this halfway house and getting to buy stuff and do sketchy things. So maybe that saved him from making other victims in the future. I don't know. But hopefully he'll show up and he'll be so happy and not call the cops on me and actually pay back my $250. So it'll just be a waste of time to save this bike, which is a good use of time, and not a waste of money, which I don't have because I'm very broke. It's wintertime in the bike industry, there's not a lot of money. My eBay is slow. But yeah, hopefully I'll get a photo of him giving a thumbs up and he'll be all stoked, and that'll be great. And maybe I'll pump these tires up for him while I wait and maybe fix the quick release. I mean, God, if it would have taken a few more days, I'd have this whole thing tuned up for him. It'd been great. Saved a bunch of money. Just getting bored and mess with it. But at least we're getting it out of my way and I can get back to my real projects. So thanks for watching. Sorry for the bad lighting.